On the line right now, Andrea Lepore rather. She's the owner and founder of Hot Italian Pizza Restaurants. Andrea, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, great to have you here. And when I saw your website and your restaurants listed, I was looking on some Sacramento publication, and then I realized you also had one in Emeryville as well. You really take tying in cycling with restaurants to a new level.
Thanks. Well, yeah, I mean, Hot Italian really is, we like to say, is modern Italy meets urban California, and cycling is such a big part of both of those lifestyles. So, it's obviously a natural for us.
Yeah, and so your restaurant in Sacramento is located in the downtown area, which is really favorable to cycling.
Yeah, it's actually it's nice because we're sort of on the border of downtown where it meets Midtown. And Midtown is really where a lot of the bars and boutiques and other restaurants and Victorian houses and whatnot are. So it's really nice, easy access. You know, it's we have bike parking for 32 bikes on site, and we actually are the first bicycle-friendly designated restaurant in California.
I have to say that one thing that does, another irritant of mine, as I was mentioning before, one thing that does bother me is when I ride to a place and I can't find a single bike rack within a reasonable distance, sometimes not even within sight of a place. But no, you have these racks, and I've never seen them before, where the bikes go in more of an upright position, I imagine, to allow more space to fit in more bikes.
Right, exactly. Yeah, they're really interesting. They're very artistic. They're called cycle pods, and they were designed by a group of students actually in England a few years ago, and I had seen them online, and we were the first in the U.S. to import them. But they basically, it's a 6-foot diameter, and you can fit 8 bikes within that diameter, and the fact that they're upright, they're actually more secure because you can lock both the wheel and the frame to it. So
I feel like
they're beautiful.
I feel like the engineering behind bicycle racks has really gone just leaps and bounds over the past 10 years or so. We have some really well-designed bike racks here in San Luis Obispo as well. It's a local inventor that has, and then organizations fund the different racks around town. So you'll see little plaques on these bike racks saying, this rack donated by such and such. Did you have to personally put these racks in front of your restaurants?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the city, just like a lot of the cities, they're putting in racks, but they really only hold, 2 bikes. And, to your point before, we really wanted to make it easy for people. If it's not easy, people aren't going to do it. And we want to encourage more cyclists and people to ride the restaurant. And like I said, if it's not easy for them to park, they're just not going to do it.
And what seems to be the reaction from, say, non-cyclists that visit your restaurant?
We just don't let them eat.
That's funny.
There's it's funny because we're in, like I said, an urban location, and cities in the past have always had zoning where you had to have so many parking spaces and yada yada, and that's such an old school way of thinking.
Right.
Especially in urban locations when we just don't have the space for huge parking lots, thank God. So, our location in Sacramento, we had a parking lot that had about 8 parking spaces, and I actually reduced it in half to put our large patio and more bike parking back there. So, like I said, people will, if they want to get to your restaurant, they'll find a way to park their car. There's lots of street parking and whatnot, but we really want to encourage other forms of transportation. We've also changed out 2 car parking spots to create 8 2-wheel spots for scooters or motorcycles.
Oh, good. Now, where are you located in Emeryville?
In Emeryville, we are actually right across from the Amtrak train station in the public market, and it's an old development that is being sort of brought back to life by new developers and really doing a great job because it's a LEED certified neighborhood, and it's a great. Emeryville's a real fun city. Lots of businesses. Pixar is based there.
Yeah.
Jamba Juice and Whole Foods West Coast offices, and Cliff Bar, which is obviously a very, very bicycle friendly business. And,
Oh, yeah.
and, we do a lot with them. So it's a great community.
I've stayed at a hotel that is, I think it's changed hands, but it's directly adjacent to the Amtrak there. And we brought our bikes because we had an event in San Francisco we needed to go to. And so we just rode on over to BART, hopped on at the... what station is that there? It's the elevated station. I can't think of it. But anyway, hopped on BART there, took it into the city. No parking hassles, which San Francisco can be a parking headache. You can also bleed your wallet dry at the same time. and then it was a beer event. And so we had several beers. And then we didn't have to worry about drinking and driving, took BART back. And then by that time, we were fine to then ride the rest of the way back to the hotel. So that's a nice aspect of the whole cycling thing too, is just avoiding the head, especially in a congested area like downtown Sacramento or the whole Emeryville, East Bay, San Francisco area. You avoid so many of those headaches, right, Andrea?
Right. Well, in the East Bay and Sacramento, they're a little easier to ride around in because it's compared to San Francisco because it's a little flatter.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about, cable car tracks.
You have to have good calves, too, right?
You have to have good calves, right?
Exactly, yeah.
I used to live in North Beach, and sometimes I would really have to climb some of those hills, and I just gave up, and I would throw my bike on the Muni and have it take me up.
They're brutal, and I don't even like driving my car up some of them.
Yeah.
No, I don't. So what's on the menu there at, I love the name, first of all, Hot Italian. How'd you come up with that?
Well, it's funny because you probably remember this back in the day where there was the whole generic line where you could go to the grocery store and it was like beer.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so that's where I came up with it because to me, when you say Hot Italian, then people can have their own imagination run wild because Hot Italian can mean anything.
Yeah.
To anyone. It could be a bike, it could be a person, a car, a pair of shoes. It's many different things, and so that's really where it came from. And my business partner, who is the Pizziolo, is from Italy. He had a restaurant there for about 17 years, and he's really the reason why the pizza is as claimed as people say. So it's a real simple concept. It's a pizza and panini bar, and we do have calzones and salads and gelato and espresso. It's basically just walking into Italy. Because
of the large cycling contingent to your fan base, do you tend to kind of lean on the healthy side?
Yes, it's very it's thin crust, and it's just like Italian food is. It's very simple. Not tons of ingredients on every pizza. All of our pizzas are custom designed by Fabrizio, and they're most of them are a combination of California and Italian ingredients. So we have a what's called a Fiori, and by the way, all of our pizzas are named after hot Italians, so you can Google them. But the Fiori is just tomato sauce made with local tomatoes. Because where else would you get the best tomatoes but Central Valley?
That's true.
Local mushrooms, local arugula, prosciutto Parma from Parma, Italy, and then it's finished with truffle oil from a Italian family that's had an olive oil company here in California.
Ooh, nice! I love it.
Yeah, it's a really popular pizza, and I think that that's one of the misperceptions that people have with pizza because they're so used to the real heavy extra cheese, extra meat, and what sort of American version of pizza is. And Fabrizio and I both eat pizza every day, and
and you don't get tired of it?
Healthy.
I like it. Well, I'll tell you what, we're heading into a commercial break here, speaking with Andrea Lepore from Hot Italian. Mallory Jenkins from Slow Rideshare is joining us as well, and right after the break, we'll speak with the owner of a bike tour company in Santa Cruz. You're listening